Herod's fear. Gentle Bible story. According to the Gospel of Matthew, after the Magi worshipped baby Jesus, they were warned in a dream not to return to Herod. So they went back to their own country by another way. Herod had said that he wanted to worship the child, but his heart was not sincere. When he heard that a king of the Jews had been born, he did not receive the news with joy. He saw the child as a threat to his throne. This story shows how a man with power became afraid of a small child. Now the story begins in Jerusalem. After the Magi had left Bethlehem by another road, Herod had already spoken to the Magi in secret. He had told them to go and search carefully for the child. He had also told them to bring him word when they found him, so that he too might go and worship him. His words sounded respectful. They sounded like the words of a king who wanted to honor the newborn child. But there was no true worship in Herod's heart. Deep inside him, fear was growing, and that fear was slowly turning into something darker. Herod was already sitting on a throne. People called him king. His command could move soldiers, leaders, and servants. He had power, wealth, influence, and the ability to make many people obey. Yet he was afraid of a child who could not even speak. A man in a palace was afraid of a baby in Bethlehem. This scene leaves a heavy question in the heart. Why can a powerful person become so deeply afraid? Why can someone who already has so much still feel unsafe inside? Herod's fear was not only fear of one child. He was afraid of losing his place. He was afraid that people might look to another king instead of him. He was afraid that the power he held so tightly might one day fall from his hands. So he could not welcome the birth of Jesus as good news. To him, the birth of Jesus sounded like a threat to his own desire. The same news can enter different hearts in very different ways. The Magi heard about the child and traveled a long road to worship him. They bowed before baby Jesus and opened their treasures. They placed gold, frankincense, and myrrh before him. But Herod heard about the same child and refused to humble his heart. He did not want to worship Jesus. He wanted to remove him. On the outside, Herod looked like a king, but inside, he had no peace. He was sitting in a high place, yet his heart was held by fear. The news of the true king exposed the false peace Herod had been holding. When the Magi did not return, Herod realized that they had gone another way. The Gospel tells us that he became furious. Fear often changes into anger. When fear is not brought before God, it can become a harsh power that hurts others. Herod's anger was not only the anger of a disappointed man. It came from a heart that was desperate to protect its throne. He wanted to guard his own power, even if innocent lives would suffer. Here we see the frightening face of power without humility. Power that refuses to bow before God can become cruel, even toward the weak. A heart that hides fear instead of surrendering it can choose darker and darker paths. Herod looked strong, but he was actually bound by fear. He was not afraid of an army. He was not afraid of a warrior with a sword. He was afraid of a little child. But this child was not a king made by the powers of the world. This child was the true king sent by God. Jesus did not come to rule by crushing people under fear. He came in humility. He came to save. He came to lift the wounded, heal the broken, and overcome the darkness of sin and death. Herod could not see this king rightly. He was holding his own throne too tightly, and because of that, he could not bow before the king God had sent. People often think that having more power will make the heart more secure. But sometimes the things we hold most tightly become the very things that keep us afraid. What we refuse to release can become a chain around the heart. What we think will protect us can slowly imprison us. Herod's story is uncomfortable, but it asks an honest question. What am I afraid to lose? What am I holding so tightly that I cannot receive Jesus with joy? Do I welcome him as the true king, or do I fear that he will disturb the things I want to control? Jesus came as the true king, but he did not come to steal life from us. He came to give life. He came not to destroy the humble heart, but to free it. He knows even the hidden fears we do not know how to name. He can enter the places inside us where anxiety, pride, and control have been quietly ruling. Herod rejected baby Jesus because of fear. But faith chooses another way. Faith brings fear into the light. Faith lowers the heart before the true King. Faith learns that surrender to Jesus is not the loss of peace, but the beginning of real peace. The story of Herod also shows the difference between worldly power and the kingdom of Jesus. Herod's power was loud, fearful, and unstable. It needed control in order to feel safe. But the kingdom of Jesus began quietly, in humility, with a child. It did not need a palace to be true. It did not need Herod's approval to stand. The true king had come, even though the powerful were troubled by his coming. This is a quiet warning for every heart that tries to live by control. The more we try to protect our own throne, the more restless we may become. The more we fear losing control, the harder it becomes to recognize the peace Jesus brings. But when the heart finally bows before Him, it does not become smaller in shame. It becomes free. Now this story leaves both a warning and a comfort in our hearts. It warns us that fear can become dangerous when it is hidden behind pride and power. But it also comforts us by showing that Jesus is not a threat to the humble heart. He is the true King who brings peace. He is the one who can free us from the fear of losing what we cannot keep forever. I hope this story gently shines a light on every heart held by fear. And I hope it helps us find quiet peace again before Jesus, the true King.